Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. My name is Captain Mustachio, and this spicy little piece of ear candy is called Myths and Mustaches, an amazing pirate audiobook podcast starring me and my super cool story about my adventures on the high seas. So, now it's chapter 3, so y'all know how I do. I gotta educate on the mystical ways of piratisms. So let's go ahead and talk about one of my favorites, drinking. Let's talk grog. Anyone ever heard of that? According to history, grog was the drink of choice by pirates. And yeah, I know, the name sounds like seawater sludge or something, but grog was actually a mixture of rum and water. Sometimes people added lemon juice and sugar. That sounds kinda appetizing, huh? But look, you know me. I'm not a historian. I'm a pirate. So I can tell you without a doubt that in the pirate underground, our actual drink of choice is called an appletini. So go ahead, come at me. Tell me it's a girl drink. But here's the reality. Have you ever had an appletini? It's delicious. Look, I have no shame. I kill people nearly every day. I look people dead in the eyes and then stab them, sometimes with their families watching. I've even kept their heads as trophies. And at the end of the day, do you think I want water and rum to wash down all of my murder? No. I want a big green glass of appley goodness to numb the pain of seeing the light leave their eyes every time I sleep at night. So I think I'm in charge of my own destiny when it comes to drinks, okay? Oh, get this though. Rick's favorite drink is a Cosmo. What a little girl, am I right? Chapter 3. Players be playin'. Well, is someone going to answer me, or are you planning to gawk at me all night? She said, irritated with her hands on her hips. Psst. Hey, Rick, whispered Captain Mustachio, leaning over to his first mate while maintaining eye contact with the young woman. Who is that? Rick leaned over, still staring at the girl, and whispered, Bro, I don't know, but she is bangin'. Like I would totally tongue punch her right in the face hole. Mustachio opened his mouth to whisper back, then stopped, looked at Rick in utter disgust, pondered it, and then nodded in silent approval. You there, with the dazzling mustache. Why are you men on my ship? Questioned the lady in white. The men all turned to look at Captain Mustachio. The captain awkwardly snapped back to life with the sudden attention from everyone. Well, we stammered Captain Mustachio. Yes, the girl implied. We're here for the map! Screamed Captain Mustachio in a tone that was awkwardly loud. Yeah, he means the map to the Piedra del Mar treasure, explained Rick, looking at his captain, who looked red-faced and overly sweaty. Shut up, Rick. I got this, Captain Mustachio said, shaking off his nerves and slapping Rick on the back of the head. Mustachio licked his good hand and combed through his hair for a sexy slick-back kind of look as he approached the girl. Dear lady, we ask that you kindly remove the treasure map from your possession, said Captain Mustachio, who winked his eye and his mustache simultaneously. You've killed all of my armed guards, and now request my greatest possession that I have. You must be joking. That map is my life. It's been in my family for generations, and it stays with me. The girl in white replied incredulously, with her arms crossed. I see, sighed Captain Mustachio. Well, you heard her, boys. The map stays with her. So I guess she's coming with us, yelled Captain Mustachio, raising his hook to the sky. The men cheered. One of the crew hoisted the girl onto his shoulders. She kicked and fought, but he was overpoweringly strong. I found it! Screamed one of the pirates coming up from the lower deck. He was waving an old beat-up piece of parchment in his hand. He handed it to his captain, who held it high above his head. We have it now, boys. The treasure is ours. Let's celebrate, shouted Captain Mustachio. The men erupted in cheers and began doing their sexy shimmy dances for a solid 45 minutes until they were winded. After the festivities, the men retreated back to their own ship, cut the ropes, and set sail on a voyage for the new world. What should we do with her? Said the pirate carrying the girl in his thick Mexican accent. Put her in the guest quarters, and bring her some enchiladas from last night that Pedro made. I will see to her soon, ordered Captain Mustachio. Oh, yes, Captain, nodded the pirate as he carried the girl kicking and screaming below deck. Rick, come here, ordered Captain Mustachio. Pirate Rick came scuttling up to the captain and looked attentive. I need you to set a course for this bizarre island on the map. It's called Hanakaluka Puta Babuba, said Captain Mustachio. Booba. I bet that island's got a nice set of coconuts. You know what I mean? Gavin, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. Grinned Pirate Rick like an idiot as he looked off in the distance. Captain Mustachio quickly karate chopped Rick in the throat with his mustache, and Rick collapsed to the ground. Your jokes are garbage, and I hate you. Captain Mustachio walked away, down into the bows of the ship. As he stood at the entrance to the guest quarters with his hand inches from knocking on the door, he froze. Sweat beads were forming on his immaculately muscular forehead. He was never like this. He was a raging tornado of testosterone and charisma. So why was it so hard to knock? He felt it for the first time in his life. He was nervous. Come on, man, thought Mustachio to himself. You got this. You've got this. So what if she's a shawty? I've seen plenty of shawties. Besides, she's totally into you. She noticed your stash. She was all like, ooh, Mustachio, you're like so hot. I want to snuggle that upper lip beard all night. Yeah, she totally said that. I am pretty sure. Okay, let's do this. Mustachio let out a breath. With every force of manhood left in his being, he pushed his fist against the door and knocked. Come in, said the light and tender voice that put his mustache on edge. He swung the door open wide and did a sexy pose, curling his mustache and flexing his calf muscles. Well, hello, spoke Captain Mustachio, sizzling with the sultry tone that would melt any sane woman's face off. Have you come to explain what you plan to do with me? The girl said plainly, who was clearly immune to his charm. Captain Mustachio swallowed the lump in his throat. He shook his head and regained his composure. With a defiant swagger that would make most Puerto Rican women swoon, he ambled his way next to the chair that sat closest to the girl. She was sitting on her bed with a confused look on her face. Well, first things first, girl. Allow me to introduce myself. I am the Captain Mustachio, Captain Mustachio said, biting his lip. She sat there staring at him confused. You've You never heard of me?
No.
Captain Mustachio. The Mustachioed Bandit. The greatest Mexican pirate to ever sail the Caribbean.
No.
I didn't even know Mexico had pirates. The girl said, laughing. Wow. Okay, racist much? But that's beside the point. So, now what's your name, Sugar Lips? Inquired Captain Mustachio, stroking his stash super seductively.
Well, my name is Princess Reneliana, daughter of King Deshaun LeMichelson of the Azore Islands, and you have killed my escort party, Mr. Mustachio, taken my map, and are holding me prisoner on this ship. So what I would like to know is, when do you plan on letting me go? Because if you plan on killing me, you might as well do it now.
Reneliana fumed, with her voice raising in irritation. So, I know your mouth is moving, but the only words that I'm hearing you say are, "Kiss me, you mustachioed lust machine," whispered Mustachio, flexing his biceps.
You're an idiot. Or a pig. Or both. Get out,
she yelled, and proceeded to take her shoe off and throw it at him. Defeated and depressed, Captain Mustachio retreated out of the room and closed the door behind him. He hung his head and walked slowly and gloomily to the upper deck. Did I say something wrong? I mean, she kept throwing me all the right signals. Called me attractive, saying she wanted to take a ride through the clouds on a magical flying mustache adventure. I mean, maybe my biceps weren't big enough. Yeah, right. That's ridiculous. These puppies could tame a lion with one flex. So what was it then? Thought Captain Mustachio as he grabbed hold of the helm to steer the ship and clear his head. Pirate Rick walked over to the captain and proceeded to say,
"The ship is secure, Captain. Everyone is retired below deck, and we are headed on course."
Yeah, all right, grumbled Captain Mustachio glumly.
Hey, big guy. Is everything all right?
Said Pirate Rick, noticing his captain's solemn expression. Dude, I just don't get her. She's all like, I want you. And then she's all like, get out. Ugh. It's so confusing, confessed Captain Mustachio. Women, man. She's probably just pissed because we just killed all of her friends and possibly family and then kidnapped her, but, don't even worry about it, man. She'll probably get over it by tomorrow. Pirate Rick patted his captain on the shoulder reassuringly. I don't know what to say to her. The very sight of her sends chills up and down my mustache. I see her, and then I freeze up, and I say things I normally wouldn't say, said Captain Mustachio, gripping the helm, frustrated. That's love, dog. You got it bad for baby girl. So this is what you do. You're gonna march down there. You bust open that door all crazy-eyed, and you give her total honesty. Got me like 6 of my last 7 wives, smiled Pirate Rick. Rick, you've never been married. In fact, I've never seen you with a woman in all the time that I've known you, and I'm not gonna lie, I was fairly certain you were a homosexual, Captain Mustachio replied. Yeah, man, I hear that. Pirate Rick continued with an idiotic grin on his face. Rick, sometimes I think you're kind of a moron, but I think you're right. I think I need to be honest with her. Thanks, man. Now go mop the deck, said Captain Mustachio, tilting his head towards the nearby mop buckets. Aye, Captain.
Now go nab yourself that shawty, sang Pirate Rick as he bent over to swab the poop deck. Captain Mustachio found himself at the guest room door, preparing himself mentally to seduce the crap out of this girl. Captain Mustachio thought to himself before knocking. Okay, honesty. I'm gonna march in there and say, Princess Rinelliana, I know we got off on the wrong foot, and I acted like a fool, but I'm here to make amends. I just wanted to say that I invited you aboard with no intentions of harming you. In fact, I think you're quite lovely. I think hosting a beautiful young woman like yourself will bring not just a heightened aura of class to our group of ruffians, but will also give me the chance to treat a true lady with proper respect and admiration. Rinelliana, I would ask that you please join me for breakfast in the morning to discuss not just the adventure we're about to go on, but more about yourself. I'm intrigued by your confidence, and I want to see you for who you really are. Please give me another chance, my lady. Oh yeah, that is good stuff. Oh, I'm gonna own this. He knocked casually on the door. What is it now? Huffed Rinelliana irritatedly. Captain Mustachio burst through the door and was breathing heavy like a wildebeest. Is everything all right? Faltered Rinelliana, concerned with the look he was giving her. I'm gonna say something, and I need you to listen. I have to give you honesty, shouted Captain Mustachio in an awkwardly loud and unnecessary tone. Rinelliana sat in silence and looked frightened. Captain Mustachio couldn't find the words. Yes? Go on, coaxed Rinelliana, now intrigued at Captain Mustachio, who was apparently letting his guard down. I like the way you smell, screamed Captain Mustachio in a panicked shout. The captain turned and proceeded to run out of the room as fast as he could. His peg leg slammed into a nearby table and knocked him flat on his face. He whimpered under his breath. Oh, my thigh meat. Oh, that hurts so bad I peed a little. And held his injured thigh while dragging himself on the ground out of the room. Good night. He squealed in pain as he slammed her door shut. Rinelliana sat on her bed, wide-eyed, with her mouth slightly agape, listening to childlike sobs as the captain lifted himself up each step. Captain Mustachio hobbled his way to the helm, where Rick was nearby, still swabbing the deck. How'd it go? Inquired Pirate Rick. Oh, I nailed it, said Captain Mustachio, smiling confidently. Nice, Pirate Rick said, and he continued with his poop deck duty while Mustachio steered the vessel. Poop deck and duty. Get it? Rinelliana was in shock. She wasn't quite sure what had happened. He shouted at me, she thought, but something about it was oddly endearing. I swear I saw his mustache blushing. But that was his honesty? Telling me I smell good? It's ridiculous. But at the same time, I guess it was cute. Oh, well, he's still a grimy pirate. She finished her thoughts, laid her head down on the pillow in the silent creaking quarters, and a smile formed on her lips as she closed her eyes to sleep.
Hey guys, thank you all so much for listening to Myths and Mustaches. My name is Logan, and I am the creator, author, editor, and voice actor for Myths and Mustaches.
The intro and outro music for Myths and Mustaches was performed and recorded by the very talented Max Faith. If you loved it like I did, go check out more of his stuff at maxfaith.bandcamp.com. That's maxfaith.bandcamp.com. And if you liked what you heard from my silly stories and want to be a sponsor for my project, you can check out more of my stuff out on my Patreon at patreon.com/mythsandmustaches. And if you're already a subscriber, then I just want to tell you that I love you. And you're kind of my favorite. And I've sometimes thought about you romantically. And if you're not a subscriber, then, well, I guess we can still be friends. Again, thank you guys so much for listening and subscribing, and stay tuned for more piratey nonsense in the upcoming weeks. Sound effects for this chapter were provided by Music for Video, Alexander Gastrel, and Audio Hero. All of these creators and their content can be found at www.zapsplat.com.